guys, it's your girl Stasia Star. Welcome back to Stasia Star Daily, your go-to place for everything beauty, fashion, makeup, girl chat, level up, love and relationships, and anything that maintains and pertains to the modern day woman. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be discussing something very, very important. We're going to be talking about why authenticity is your superpower and why you need to discover your own path and not hers. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because with so many women focusing on the level up, so many women focus on living their best life, it almost seems like sometimes there's a divide within the feminine community. And as much as we talk about sisterhood and women loving and supporting one another, we cannot act like the other side of the coin does not exist. Extreme jealousy, extreme competition, gossip, and really, really nasty and hateful behavior that many women display amongst one another. I mean, you'll see the videos on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram all the time with women who are really beautiful, really successful, really confident, talking about just how much hate and envy they experience on a regular basis from not only strangers, but family, loved ones, and even people they consider as friends. This is something I've struggled with my whole entire life, and it's honestly made me very wary and kind of paranoid about getting close to other women. I'm really, really, really wary about friendships. I'm really, really, really cautious about who I tell my business to, who I let close to me, and honestly it's because I've been burned many times. I do hope one day that I can kind of let my guard down and give another girl a chance, but until I know that someone is 100% solid, I'm just not going to take the risk. So that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I want all women to know that every woman has a light, every woman has a talent, human being has a purpose. Your authenticity is your superpower. You do not need to be envious of, hate on, or wish bad upon anyone else on this planet. You need to focus on yourself. You need to compete with yourself. You don't need to outdo the next woman. You need to outdo who you were yesterday. Okay, so let's get 5 points about why authenticity is your superpower and why you need to focus on your path and not hers. Just another point, a lot of the times I think this type of behavior stems not only from the patriarchy and societal pressures. Of course, the patriarchy has a lot of influence as to why women are constantly in competition, but also I really think that it's the crabs in the barrel mentality. There can only be one it girl. There can only be one beauty guru. There can only be one fashion designer. That is not the case. The world is huge. There's more than 7 billion people on this planet. There is enough space and enough money for all of us to go around. Diversity is a good thing. Having multiple people in multiple spaces is amazing. It allows for different perspectives, different cultures, different thought processes, and it honestly pushes the culture forward. So do not be afraid to focus on yourself. The more you focus externally, the further away from your true God-given purpose you are. Okay, so point number 1, aligning with your purpose equals long-lasting fulfillment. When you move with authenticity, you align with your soul's blueprint. True happiness and success come from walking in your own purpose, not someone else's. When you show up as who you truly are, you open up the doors that were divinely created just for you. You unlock opportunities that align perfectly with your purpose, not just the opportunities that look good on the outside. If you're not focusing on yourself and what makes you happy and what are your passions, if you're literally just out here trying to outdo the next girl, trying to get to the top, trying to kick everyone down, you might reach some success, but you might not be that happy. Have you ever realized or noticed how many millionaires or celebrities who are extremely successful are extremely unhappy? Usually it's because they did something strange for some change to get to the top. So as long as you stay genuine and you stay focused on you, you can always be certain that God and the universe will bless you. It's all about integrity. It's all about aligning with your soul's purpose. Focusing on what the next girl is doing and how you compete with her and how you can outshine her is negative, low vibrational energy. And God does not respond to low vibration. You will only attract more of that into your life. Authenticity builds trust, credibility, and emotional connection, which is how you create long-term impact, whether in relationships, business, or self-growth. Now, for this point, I like to use the example of the music industry. This is something I see a lot with artists. Have you ever noticed that some of the newer artists or some of the artists who have recently come out are really struggling to make an impact with their audience? There's a lot of artists who are extremely talented, extremely beautiful. They can sing, they can dance, they can rap, they can act, but they haven't haven't really had that hit record or that hit album. And a lot of the times, if you read the comments about these artists, you'll see that people are like, who is she? Who is he? She's just trying to be a Beyonce copycat. She just wants to be just like Rihanna. He's trying to be like Drake. I feel like a lot of the times in the music industry, it's a great example about how authenticity or a lack of authenticity can really stunt your growth and really be a hindrance in your career. People can feel your energy. People can feel when you seem uncomfortable in a garment. People can feel when an artist is singing a song that they're not passionate about. And to take it a step even further, usually down the line, those same artists will be like, I was so unhappy. I couldn't be myself. I didn't want to make pop music. I wanted to make reggae. I didn't want to rap. I wanted to sing. You understand what I'm saying? So I say this because if you want real opportunities and real success, it's best to stay authentic. Yeah, you might get that dream job. Yeah, you might get that record deal. Yeah, you might get that dream partner. But if you're not being your real self, you will at some point be very unhappy. And the same example with the music industry, let's think about Rihanna. When Rihanna first came out, she was cute, very sweet, very kind, very soft-spoken, which I do believe is a major part of her personality because she is a very warm, genuine person. But once she started making more gutsy, more raw, more fierce, more pop, more hip hop, more reggae type of ballads, that's when she really took off as an artist. And she says that she was being her true self. She was sick and tired of being the good girl because she felt like that's not who she naturally was. So remaining true to herself throughout her entire career has made Rihanna the multi-millionaire, billionaire, successful megastar that she is. And her fans feel very connected to her for that. Now, let's do point 3. Inspiration is beautiful, but imitation can be destructive. Yes, you can absolutely be inspired by someone. You can look up to someone and see them as a mentor or as a place of motivation. However, copying someone's life outright will never yield the same results. Everyone has their own path, their own gifts, their own purpose, and their own divine timing. Trying to recreate someone else's journey out of jealousy, fear, ego, insecurity will never bring you peace. Trying to be in competition with someone else doesn't always guarantee that you're gonna win. Sometimes you're literally in a mental induced prison competing with someone who is not even worried about you. You are putting so much energy into trying to knock someone else down when really that person that you're trying to knock down probably focusing on how they can win. Remember, winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. Basically, you'll remain in a loop of a self-induced competition with the finish line nowhere at sight. Remember, you cannot trick God in the universe. God does not bless ill intention. So remember, whenever you're doing something, make sure you do it from a pure, genuine space. Now, I understand people say jealousy can be normal. I don't really resonate with that because I've never been a jealous person. I've always been someone that was motivated, inspired, and someone that supported and saw the beauty and the creativity in others' gifts. I'm someone that knows my own value and know that my value doesn't take away from anyone else's. So I understand some people might struggle with that, but I really implore you to take a deep look and see why exactly you're jealous of that person. Why exactly are you competing with them? Like I said, most of the time when people are trying to compete with someone else, the person they're trying to beat is not worried about them at all. Just think about it. All that time that someone takes on scrolling on someone's Instagram, downloading their content, on saying, you know what, she made this type of video, but I could do it better. Or she started this company, but I can do it better. All that negative energy that you're sending is so low vibrational. And the law of the universe is that what you put out will be returned to you. That is why haters never prosper. That is why people who are severely jealous are just miserable. Rather than being angry and insecure and sending hate, focus on love. If someone triggers you, it's okay to unfollow them. It's okay to step back. It's okay to not consume their content. But being hateful and moving in a space of ill intention is really low vibrational. And like I said before, you might mess around and be so focused on trying to knock someone down when you're not meant to win that race. You have to understand that everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a certain calling on their life. God made Beyonce to be Beyonce. You can plan all day for 45 days and 45 nights that I'm going to sing better than Beyonce and I'm going to outdance Beyonce. But guess what? You're not going to end up having the same career as her because that was a purpose and a path that was created specifically for her. So what you need to do is focus on what is my path? What is my passion? What are my talents? And how can I be my authentic self in order to bring this into manifestation? Operating from a space of wanting to compete and knock people down is incredibly unhealthy. You are wasting your energy. All that time you're focusing on trying to beat everyone else and be at the top and get a lot of attention is what you could be putting into furthering yourself and getting better at your craft. It's okay to not be good at everything. Me personally, I suck at sports. I've never been a good person when it comes to sports, but I know that I'm an artist. I know that I'm a dancer. I know that I'm a musician. I know that I'm creative, but I never hated on the girls who are at the top of the sports team, the girls who are winning all the track meets or getting all the trophies and basketballs, because I know it wasn't for me. I sent them love and light, and I would go cheer for them as they won all their competitions, as they would cheer for me whenever I was on stage. There's enough love and success out here for all of us. I cannot stress just how much this competitive, low vibrational behavior really separates women and divides us from pushing our culture forward. Okay, so for the next point, imitation creates blockages, authenticity unlocks the flow. When you're pretending, faking, or performing, you're constantly second guessing yourself. You're literally telling yourself that who you are naturally, who you are truthfully is not good enough. It's literally denying your true essence. It's literally a battle that you're going through inside on a soul level. I can guarantee you that this will drain your energy and block your blessings. People who are happy, healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, people who are successful, people who are motivated and just have a bright aura to them, they live in their truth. And because they live in their truth, they're in alignment with their purpose. They know where they're going and they don't care what people think about them. They're not listening to the naysayers. They're not listening to the outsiders, and they're not competing with others. They move to the beat of their own drum. They have an internal compass. They know when to leave a job. They know when to start a project. They know when to date a person because they are always in alignment with their soul's purpose. And that is where you want to get, ladies. Like, there's literally people out here who started businesses because they wanted to compete with their friend. Like, there's literally a woman out there who didn't care about hair, didn't care about doing nails, but literally was like, let me go do hair and nails because my friend's doing it and she's making mad money. Now, that's not a bad thing if it's coming from a good space, but there's literally people who do that just because they want to flex on someone. And those same people will sit around and wonder why they're not getting clients, while they're not booked and busy, because that was not your purpose and you were moving with ill intention. Like I said before, God does not bless ill intention. You cannot trick the universe. And for the last point, authenticity builds resilience and legacy. Trends fade, personas crumble, but authenticity withstands pressure and time. It's what allows you to bounce back after failures, challenges, or some of life's hardest lessons. This will in turn allow you to leave behind a legacy rooted in truth, not performance. And to be honest, that's where real success and real peace live. All right, ladies, so I really hope that this video resonated with some of you guys out there. And like I said before, I'm always creating this content from a loving space, and I'm never meaning to trigger or hurt anyone's feelings. I want my ladies to level up and live their very best lives. And sometimes in order to level up, we got to have these tough conversations. Okay, guys, so let's get into the call of action. This is for my ladies who feel like you might be struggling with tapping into your life's purpose, your soul's purpose, and really living in your truth. So what I want you to do is start unplugging from comparison. If that means you have to unfollow people that you feel like you're comparing yourself to, if you have to unsubscribe to certain, trends or certain podcasts, what have you, I want you to start muting the people, unfollowing the people, comparing in a positive way of, wow, like, I really like that work that she did, but I mean, like, comparing in a negative way, like, I'm not as good as them. I don't want that person to be better than me. Why are they better than me? They're prettier than me. I want you to start to unplug from that behavior, okay? From that, I want you to journal daily, and I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Who am I? What makes me happy? What's my passions? What makes me tick? Where can I see myself in 5 years, in 10 years? And what are a few steps that I can take in order to get there? You need to get still, you need to get quiet, and you need to silence out all of the outside noise in order to really hear your soul speak. Pay attention to what gives you peace, not just praise. That's where your power is. And so, ladies, we got to close it out with our affirmation for this video. I release comparison and align with my divine purpose. I am enough as I am, and my path is sacred. All right, guys, sending you guys so much love and light. I hope to see you guys soon. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you later. God bless. Bye.